everybody, and welcome to tonight's coverage of Night 1 of the New Content Clash. This evening, we're excited to bring you action starting with the Legends cars at South Boston before we load up the ARCA and ARCA Series machines at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the first of two great nights of racing. Maconi Entertainment is here to bring action from all types of racing, with the Goat Locker Racing Series, Full-Length Cup Challenge, and Fast Fridays. No matter what you are racing, we can bring the action to life. My name is Justin Prince. Alongside the booth for tonight is Marty Sakawa. DJ Line is working the controls as our producer, using cameras provided by Whiplash SimCams. Marty, this event's format is fairly unique as it takes place over two nights of racing. Now, for those who may wonder, isn't the build date tomorrow? Well, the racing tonight uses the original scans of these cars on iRacing that fans have come to know and love before we bring up the new content tomorrow night for their first major event. With that in mind, what should we expect to see with these two races tonight?
I think we're going to see different driving situations compared to tomorrow. You know, I believe there's going to be a physics upgrade on the new Legends paint scheme. But I think really for the ARCA car, it's going to be really some good memories going into tonight because everyone knows what it was like to race in D-Class on iRacing and race this ARCA Gen 4 body. Tomorrow night, they're upgrading, obviously, to the new Gen 6 model. We'll still have the Gen 4 model, though, obviously, but for the Cup physics and not the ARCA physics. So we're going to see two things drive differently here, but I'm looking forward to seeing what goes down here tonight. Short track for Legends at South Boston and the ARCA on the intermediates at Charlotte later on.
And mind you, there are prizes on the line, as you see on screen. For those who registered for this event and paid either $10 to compete tonight or $15 for the whole event, you have the chance to essentially get your money back if you get yourself top 30 in point payouts per night. Meaning, you can actually get a profit if you enter the race. $690 total prizes on the line, plus a custom trophy for that top person when it comes to those standings for the points on the night. So, good opportunities to go into the green if you want to think about it that way. But let's talk about the race that we start off the night with, South Boston Speedway. This racetrack, America's hometown track. Going to bring a different style of racing to some. For others, there's a big reason you would think this is on the schedule. This was, for a lot of people, the rookie racetrack to compete at.
Yeah, absolutely, and I loved racing into this track in street stocks. I didn't get a chance to really race a lot of the Legends cars at South Boston. Pretty much for me, it was either Lanier or Langley or any of those other tracks, but South Boston is a lot of fun to race on. You want to go as low as possible. Don't get too low, though, below that yellow line. And it can be tight, especially on the straightaways, trying to make passes. But these Legend cars, not as wide, obviously, as a stock car. So we'll have to see how things go down. You're watching Howie Burrows on the racetrack, just going about 70 miles an hour here in qualifying. May have to lift a little bit, but don't have to lift too much here.
Just to be able to handle this track just right if you want to get the speed down when it comes to this Legends car. The lap's going to become quick, about 16 seconds per lap for the drivers at the moment. Currently keep an eye, by the way, on qualifying. These drivers have 10 minutes to set 2 laps, and so far we've seen about 10 or 11 of our competitors set times. Bo Brady currently top of the board. Zach Novak, Larry Pace, interesting enough, making a start in this event. Then you have Brennan Argenio and Mason Foster amongst the top times on the board. Take a look at Jeff Maconi. He put a lot of work to be able to get this event going here tonight. I know he was very excited to be able to get things going here this evening.
Yeah, and shout out to Jeff for starting this 2025 Season 2 off right with this clash, flashing back to the old content, then transitioning to the brand new content and update day come tomorrow night. Jeff right now currently 6th quickest in qualifying, 16.475. You're right on board. There's just that little lift, losing about 15 miles an hour. You're looking at the RPMs here across the line here. Does he have a better lap? I don't know if he does. It's tough to tell.
No improvement. He was 2/10 slower, and he's just getting some practice on the racetrack at the moment to be able to get things ready for the race. 100 laps, by the way, your distance when it comes to our first race of the night. Our second race will be 60 laps when we go to Charlotte with the ARCA Menards cars. So we'll have to see how the drivers keep themselves clean and green, potentially for races such as tonight. And I'm very curious on the competitors because a lot of top short track racers did make their way out to tonight, including the Pizza Man. Braden Laster, usually in the booth for many of our broadcasts, has jumped in the car and has crashed in qualifying.
Yeah, Braden off to a good start to tonight without question. But I think he's the most excited when it comes to tomorrow night because he's got real life experience racing the ARCA Gen 6 car, obviously. Most recently ran at Daytona to kick off the season in a fun race, though, that's for sure. Unfortunately, though, he was on the DNF side of things. But excited to see what Braden has for us in these next two nights. See what he brings to the table once again. He almost lost it there off of turn number 4. That seems to be the corner that bites him in the dust.
Yeah, no time put up, by the way, with those spins. So he'll have to start towards the tail of the field. He'll be someone to keep an eye on. He is making an interesting line work, that apron line. Never mind, he just spun it out. Well, that's something we'll have to see if he tries during the race. We still have 3 minutes to go in the qualifying session, and all drivers have indicated they have completed their laps around the track. Mason Jones, Braden Laster, Noah Larson all did not get the set qualifying times. Everybody else at least put up a 16-second lap time. So it should be an interesting night to see how the racers compare when we get going. There is a 5-minute warm-up, mind you. They will have a chance to be able to acclimate before we go to the grid.
Yeah, so the drivers will get some more experience with the Legend car at South Boston, and more than just the 3 laps. Obviously got some chance to practice, but we'll see how the drivers do in traffic for the next few minutes.
Well, we'll see what's going to happen on the other side of this break. We'll take a step aside, getting ready to go racing. You're watching Maconi Entertainment.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back to tonight's coverage of the new content event, the new content clash specifically. Brought to you by Maconi Setup Shop and Maconi Entertainment. All for setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, event promotion, and more. The iRacing service. Subscriptions available as low as $8 a month. Once again, Maconi Setup Shop, the official setup shop of eNASCAR. And keep in mind, the C Open setup is free this week for Maconi Setup Shop. Make sure to head to the website and grab it. Also, if you want to compete in the ARCA Menards race later on, or night 2, signups are still open at MaconiSetupShop.com/event-setup signups to compete for $650 plus in cash prizes. Once again, MaconiSetupShop.com/event-signups. Signups is the last word. So currently, we're in the midst of the warm-ups here, and let's talk about some of the new content coming in. iRacing unveiling lots of that content and some of the notes throughout the week as we get set for the content release tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. What are you looking out for when it comes to new content? I can't wait to see Portland in person.
Yeah, I think, Justin, if you're an asphalt fan in general, whether it be oval or road, I think you're in for a treat. Obviously on the oval side with the ARCA car later on tonight. But on the road, I think this is a release meant for the road racing fans here. Obviously, you just mentioned Portland. It's going to be fun to have another IndyCar track on the schedule. But also, I've been watching videos of the new prototype tire versions, like the GTP and the LMP2. Jimmy Broadbent, who I watch on YouTube, did some fun videos with the GTP tire. It is going to be fun to race on cold tires. Well, I don't think it's going to be fun for us, but it's going to be fun to watch on YouTube whenever drivers have those epic fails.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting build, I think, for these drivers, keeping an eye on things and touching upon the updates. Mind you, the rookie version of this Legends car officially being retired tomorrow. It's part of those new builds and new content releases. So we'll see how these drivers fare out in this car throughout the night. They still have a couple more minutes to go before we go racing. So who are you watching out for driver-wise here tonight to start off the night?
Well, there's one driver that we haven't talked about yet on the broadcast, but keep your eye on him. It's Mason Foster in the 96. I've watched him race in the past in street stocks on iRacing. Very good at short tracks. I haven't watched him in the Legends, though, in the past, but keep an eye on Mason. I think he's one that could be a sneaky peek to watch out for closely. That the fans here may not have an idea of really who Foster is just yet, but I've seen him. He's impressive.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how maybe he'll do. He's qualifying in the 5th spot. The MLS paint schemes for tonight as well. I'm curious about Larry Pace because he's one of the drivers that has raced with big teams, has spotted for some drivers in the NASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series. Curious to see him in the field tonight. Might do pretty well. I've seen him pull off a lot of speed, in particular with the ARCA car that is now more so utilized in terms of the Gen 4 modification to it. But for this portion, I'm curious how well he does in a Legends car.
Yeah, one driver we have yet to talk about yet on the broadcast so far is Zach Novak. We know he's always fast on the ovals, obviously an eNASCAR iRacing Series driver. Novak could make his way towards the front. We know his experience in Cup. We know his experience, too, when we had the C-Fix Series on Wednesday nights. But now let's see how Novak can perform in the Legends and ARCA car later on.
Yeah, one of the drivers qualifying on the front row for tonight. So, just about a minute to go until the session. What are some of the characteristics you're watching for in general when it comes to South Boston?
Well, South Boston, remember, keep in mind, this is a track that's banked all around. Those straightaways are angled too, so it kind of gives you maybe like a little similarity like Dover, but a lot slower, obviously. So this asphalt too, also a little bit abrasive. And then finally, it's all about the low side, but you don't want to get too low because of that yellow line. Now, the Legends car can definitely be a car about balance, and it's a very finicky race car because these cars can slide around a lot, especially if they get on like a different banking sort of, or if they hit the wall or hit another car, you could be in for a long ride.
Absolutely. Currently just about all set to go for tonight's action. Once again, our first portion of this evening, 15 entrants, 14 it looks like will hit the racetrack in a couple moments time. All the battle for 100 laps at one of the rookie tracks that this car seen a lot of experience at, Sobo. So that'll transition over to the next portion of the session now. We'll see how those drivers start in just a moment's time. Again, happy with us here on Maconi Entertainment. We hope you're enjoying the action and hope you will be throughout the night here from Sobo and Charlotte. Qualifying is complete. Warm-up is complete. Bo Brady starts on the pole. Zach Novak will start alongside him in the 5. Those two will get lined up in front of Larry Pace and Brennan Argenio. Argenio starts in the 4th position. Mason Foster starts in 5th tonight alongside Jeff Maconi. And then more short track racers. Pete Polini is in the field tonight. Kyle Johnson starts to his right. Then it's Jeremy Briggs, an our Maconi Entertainment broadcaster. Zach Call looks to see if he gets the call to the front.
Matt Mango on the inside of row 6 of the 112 next to Howie Burrows in the 98. Row number 7, now these are the drivers that did not take a lap in qualifying or were able to get a lap time in qualifying. Noah Larson in the 41 next to our fellow Maconi broadcaster, the Pizza Man, Brayton Laster, and at the caboose of the field, Mason Jones in the Keelan Harvick lookalike in the number 62.
That's what's on spawn with the running order here tonight. Of note, Noah Larson did not make the starting grid for this evening's action. One more time for those just tuning in, 100 laps your distance around the 0.4 mile South Boston Speedway. These laps expect to go quick here. It is mostly cloudy skies tonight, 72 degrees Fahrenheit track temp, 70 air temp. Very minimal winds for this evening. One faster pair is available if the drivers need it. Your quick keys to victory, Marty.
I think it's all about balance and car control here. I think the combination of those two will send the drivers here. We'll send one of the drivers here to victory lane this evening. 12 degrees of banking in the turns, 10 on the straightaways. It's not flat like I mentioned, that's for sure. So again, if it's all about balance, whoever can get that balance and get the car control the best will go to victory lane.
Happy with us here from Sobo. Green flag is out. We're underway. Bo Brady with a good launch through turn 1. The rest of the field gets fully up to speed 2 by 2.
Driver, oh, we got a crash behind them. Someone just behind the pit wall. No caution for right now. We're staying green here. Brady leading lap number 1. That was Laster, I think, that got the first accident. And now the yellow flag waves.
Caution flag is out. The 47 was also collected indeed after they hit the wall. So at least 3-4 drivers had spun out. We'll take a look, see if we can what happened. The reason for the caution was Zach Call on the front stretch.
Yeah, Call had spun off in turn number 4. Everyone, all look, this is coming to the green flag here. Nope, actually this was the pace lap still.
Yeah, see them getting all sorted out for the pace laps before that pace car peeled off, but quickly things unraveled around that 47.
Yeah, I think this, let's watch the 47 closely here. Going into the corner. Or was it call with contact? Oh no, it was that 47 car once again that spun out. I think that may have been a situation of cold tires, not warming up, because it's really easy to get these cars sideways when the tire pressures are not up to date or not up to temp. I think that was the issue there.
Caution laps do count for those curious here tonight. Pippolini is the 47 paint scheme, 51 on track. By the way, on your pylon. So, getting all sorted for the restart. Have an hour pace lap to go here before we get back going. So these drivers going to have to be very finicky. As Maconi put it, they're quick. Any contact with these cars, and you go slippity slide.
Yeah, pretty much like open wheel cars, and the Legends cars at the same time is also why drivers try to get into them, because why young drivers try to get into them, because just one form of contact and you're in for the ride.
We'll have to see here what's going to happen on the restart. Brady, Novak, Pace. Foster gained a spot on Argenio. Also of note, Mason C. Jones with all the chaos moved from 14th to 9th already in the race in the Harvard Pink scheme. All set for the restart. Everyone getting all lined up in gear for the restart zone. Green, 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 back it away. Brady gets clear.
Yeah, Brady able to time that restart well, and Novak just follows in line. You got a good race for third here between Pace and Foster. Foster on the gas first, though, off of turn number 2. You got the 5th place car, Kyle Johnson, trying to follow that number 5 car. We'll see what happens.
Trying to get the high side to work here. Looks like he's got the pace to make it work at least. More trouble. Zach Hall in front of the leaders had a crash.
Whoa.
And he is stopped in the middle of the track. Caution is out.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with Call, if he didn't get up to speed or he was having a tough time maybe shifting the car, because obviously these cars are a lot different to shift normally. And yep, there you see here, it already spun out there. Not too sure the cause of it. Some front end damage on the 65. Oh, you know, I think it was, Justin. I think the steering may have been toast. Let's see if he was crab walking.
Not to pile on, but Call has the lowest I rating in the field tonight as the 65. Involved in 2 incidents this time in turn 2.
That's an overcorrection right there. You saw the car fishtail down to the inside, tried to save it. Unfortunately, too much right wheel into it, and just lost it, slammed the wall, and that car was crab walking. Going to turns number 3 and 4, no question the yellow had to fly.
Yeah, no question at all. Braden Laster came into the pit road, by the way. So the 14 has already came in for tires. And the interesting about these tires is they lift the front tires up first, then the back tires. It's not like it's right to left side of the car. And you have to be quick on the pit stop too when it comes to fuel, because it takes a while to fuel these things. If you put full fuel, you may end up losing a lap.
Yeah, you don't want it. It's kind of like with the street stock too at the same time. Fueling up feels like forever, without question.
Green, 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 back it away. And look at this. Already the top 2 single filed out. Larry Pace alongside Kyle Johnson this time.
Yeah, I wonder if the drivers here are going to think to themselves, okay, this is a long race. We've had already 2 cautions in the opening 10 laps. Let's just stay patient, get a feel for the car, try and make passes when the time comes, although a lot of the exits have been in the back of the pack, though. Pace still doing a good job on the outside. He may let Johnson go, the 88 up to P3.
So up he goes one more spot. Pace falls back. This is a bottom feeder type of racetrack, mind you, as out of the pit ring comes Zach Hall. I believe he scraped the pit wall. So it's going to be one of those races where you can build up momentum, but you better hold on to the bottom if you want to defend and keep spots.
Absolutely, without question. Here we go. Battle for the lead. Novak. Oh, trouble. Foster around.
Caution flag is out. And once again, under yellow. Foster came up. Maconi came down a bit as well after he nearly clocked the wall. And just like that, another yellow.
Yeah, let's see what happened here. We also saw Novak trying to make a move on Brady for the lead. I don't think he got the pass, though, in time before the moment of caution flag. You watch the replay of the crash off for turn 2. Ooh, Maconi, I think, may have gotten sideways off the corner and came down into Foster in the 96 car, which is nowhere to go.
Yeah, watch right here, pushes tight, tries to get away from the wall, and it comes down.
You can see how he got sideways. He's just trying to save it, how the wheel turned to the right. And just an unfortunate situation for both.
EOL penalty for Maconi. Go ahead.
Remember, too, keep in mind 1 quick repair each driver has, so they can get back in the race, but, you know, as we always say in iRacing, use the quick repairs wisely.
Interestingly enough, Braden Laster took more tires again, so obviously Brayton's trying to see if tires at least work for him. So far, he is last on the lead lap, as we have Howie Burrows, who's a lap down Everybody else here on the lead lap where Zach Hall, 5 laps down here tonight. So getting regrouped here pretty soon for the restart, it looks like. We'll see if the lights get turned off this time. And the answer is yes. Getting geared up again.
So now with Novak knowing he had a chance at that lead last time, I wonder if he's going to do the same thing and try and make a move underneath for the race lead and not stay too patient.
Once again, try this once more. Geared up for the restart. Brady in control. Oh, and Johnson moved him. Johnson gave him the shot to go. And now Kyle Johnson wants to rip away second with that move. Novak alongside has a bit more speed. Question is, can Novak clear?
We'll have to see there. Remember that second grooves can be pretty good when it comes to trying to fight back. Novak edges out the 88 at the line for right now, but look out, that 50 of Larry Pace all over Johnson. Novak just good on corner exit, hangs on to P2.
That's raw talent when it comes to that side of things. A bit of damage now. Kyle Johnson's car as a result of the contact. Let's see him lose a little bit of speed maybe with that front bumper crumpled in. Take a look at him at the moment. And no one's using that line that we were seeing last year use underneath the yellow line. Everyone just, if anything, at most, just putting those 2 left side tires underneath the yellow line.
Yeah, drivers were just having the left side tires under the yellow line like we saw in qualifying, just trying to simply cut off lap time and try and take risks, trying to get their cars closer to the front for the green flag. But with it being a 100-lap feature, I think the drivers are just trying to stay conservative with the race car, make sure they've got it to the end. Novak, meanwhile, closing in on Brady under 2/10 of a second here. Could have a chance for the race lead in a bit.
Yeah, he's taking a little bit more of an earlier arc, making it work to eat into the gap, getting good corner exits. Just has to get in line to get in position for the move. He's nearly on the Nerf bar. Looking for a small poke, stays on the bumper as now Novak tries to go for a wider arc instead.
Yeah, Novak cut down 500s that last time by. We'll be a quarter of the race through here, and the front row, they've been the dominant 2 so far under green flag conditions. Novak within a car length on the 3.
Just can't get to the inside to try and pressurize Brady here unless he goes for a big lunge. He's keeping it clean. That's the big thing. Trying to play things right like a chess match.
Yeah, Brady's going to try and hug the bottom as much as he can here. Doesn't want to open anything up for Zach Novak. If he does, the 5 car will definitely pounce.
Right now, Novak looking for a way to pounce. Still, just right along, trying to plan things out here. Still more than 70 laps to go in this race, by the way. Should turn about 4 laps a minute on the average. So you follow along with the eNASCAR driver. Coke Series has had an interesting campaign so far. He's now trying to open up the inside still. No dice yet. One of those drivers that's shown flashes of speed in the Coke Series this year.
Yeah, Novak right now trying for that narrow entry in the corner, trying to see if he can open up the bottom, prevent Brady from having the bottom line. But obviously going to be very tough. Novak not exploring options. He knows he's the best on the bottom. There he goes for the lead, JP.
Side by side for the lead. Novak on the apron trying to make the pass. Having a reset as he goes for an air dive. Novak coming off a top 10 in Interlagos about a week or so ago in the Coke Series. Slips his way for the race lead. Brady tries to cross him over though. Brady gets along to the tires as Novak leads the lap.
Yeah, Brady pushed up a little bit. That's going to help out the 5 of Novak. Maybe even clear off the corner to get the lead. I think he just did. He did.
There it is. Able to get up to the front. And now it's going to be very difficult to be able to get around car number 5. We know once he's in the lead, he likes to control the tempo with the long run. And these drivers right now so far have shown about 0.2 of a second of fall off. So he was able to maintain the pace as time goes on. So, how are things going behind him? Well, This is towards the other end of the field. Polini having a rough night so far. Brayton Laster trying to find a way around him after changing tires twice already.
Yeah, Laster was, like we mentioned, under caution there, Justin. Laster was trying to figure out, will the pressure tires work? I think with the Hoosier tires that are on iRacing here, it's normally a little bit tough to have fresh tires. I think whatever you got in your car, you try and finish them off with them unless you go for a heavy spin or for a wild ride where you need to repair your race car. But Laster, it's just tough right now. I feel like right now this race is really about track position at the moment, now that we get into the long run. Everyone, though, if you're close to somebody in front or behind you, you're going to try and figure out your options, explore. But really, if you're the man out in front like Zach Novak, he's going to be the toughest guy to beat right now.
Still holding on to 2/10 up. Jeremy Briggs were on board with the car in front of him. Mason Jones, your biggest mover through the field, up 8. Briggs wants to make it an up 7 instead with this send alongside the 62. Now going 3 wide. A dive by the 96. Mason Foster peeks underneath.
Foster making it risky. Briggs actually, in fact, made contact with Mason Jones there. Really close quarters racing. That's what we love about the Legends cars. Foster up the hill. 62 hanging out. We're 3 wide again.
Oh, that's a squeeze. And there's a hit to the wall. Hard contact for Foster. Caution flag is out as the 96 got squeezed.
Yeah, pretty much that was Jets. I know Foster was on the outside, but taking the risk going for 2 for 1. Pretty much in the end, it was just all guts and no glory.
Yeah, that wasn't going to work with that squeeze.
You see how he got tight, nearly made contact with the 62. Briggs had a look. Let's see, I don't know if there was the contact there between our Wednesday night color commentator along with Foster.
Their look once again. They were offset 3 wide, still offset. And the 62 thought they were still 2 wide.
Yep, just an unfortunate situation. Second wreck for Foster, not been the night that he has wanted so far. I don't know if he'll continue here or if he'll just regather his tools and maybe get ready for Charlotte here. Right now scored 13th.
Do have a couple people coming in to pit, by the way. In and out of pit road, in fact, already in this service. Laster pit quickly, Jeremy Briggs pit. And the one thing noticed by one of our competitors, well, you can lose a lap if you take all 4 tires at once if you don't play yourself carefully around here. Braden Laster, from the understanding, has taken the fronts on one stop, the rears on the other for the most part. Just try to make sure he maintains the lead lap while others do take tires.
Absolutely, and like you mentioned, Justin, from the looks of things, nobody taking fuel here. I don't think you really need. I don't know the Legends the best here. Bear with me. So I don't think you really need fuel though in a 100 lap race. So nobody wants to fall to the back. Obviously, right now, if you're up front, you don't want to be taking fuel.
We already got the one to go signal. Howie Burrow's lane cars go as the green flag is out of the end of the racetrack. A few drivers did not get caught up to the field, including Matt Mingo. Already single file for the top few spots here. Briggs now in the top 5.
Yeah, this restart is the first time we've restarted with the new leader in Novak. And yes, Jeremy Briggs. Caution, another yellow here.
Zach Call with another caution. That is yellow number 3 for car 65.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is going to be looked at or not with the way he's been performing, because I know a lot of the drivers really want to be racing here on the long run. We're looking at a replay. Ooh, got sideways once again. Hung on to it that time. You know what they say? Fool me once, shame on me. Tried to fool me twice, shame on you. And there's the second time. Just lost balance in the rear end.
It's not been a fun night for him. He is 6 laps down in this race, as that puts us back into the caution flag. I believe he is one of the drivers that is racing communication here tonight. Why don't we check in on him and see how he's been doing in the cockpit real quickly? As Raymond's broadcast booth, Zach Call, do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
How's the car been?
Very loose.
Well, getting geared up for a restart, what's it going to take to be able to make sure it doesn't get loose again?
They're going to go into 1 and 2, maybe not as hard as I did before. And I'm going to just probably take it a little slower, not going to push as hard. And I might lay back a little bit so that if I do have an issue, I can get going without hitting anyone else.
Watch you get back driving, thank you. Quickie caution that time. Apologies to Zach Hall as he focuses on, well, pandemonium in front of him. Some side-by-side racing. Briggs is on the move.
Yeah, Briggs, the best charger right now up in the field at the moment, looking pretty good. As we're a couple laps away from the halfway mark. Next target for the 48, Larry Pace for third. Watching some other drivers mid-pack. That's Jeff Maconi. Remember, had to recover from a black flag. He currently runs in 8th. Next target, Mason Jones. You see some more cars a little bit sideways off for turn 4, but tire temps trying to get up. Tires are trying to get up to temp here after the most recent pit stop. We'll see how things go.
Gonna be an interesting test for some drivers, mind you. 51 lap old tires for the top 3. Everybody else except for Argenio and Polini have taken tires as side-by-side Briggs alongside Johnson ascend up for the race lead 2. Brady wants his lead back. Now it's side-by-side, 2 rows deep.
Man, they nearly came to blows there, and now the Maconi 88. Johnson trying to get for P3. We're 2 by 2 at just over 100 miles, at just about 70 miles an hour. Into the corner here. We'll see if Brady can get the lead back at the line. No, it's Novak.
Still keeping it alongside. Novak having to go way up the racetrack. That's going to cost him some overall time at this point. As to the lead, Bo Brady.
Oh, Novak got sideways.
Wow, he knew he got sideways in the side of the 88. Yeah, big correction.
Yeah, great save. That allows Johnson to get to the highest spot. He's been today second, but now look at that. He had a great exit. He's got a chance at the top spot here.
For the lead, Kyle Johnson. And Johnson to the point. He's up 7 spots, and now those fresh tires look to get to work. It looks like the tires do pay off for some drivers here.
Yeah, now he's trying to run away here from Novak and Brady. Jeremy Briggs trying to play a factor in this, I believe, as well. Is he side-by-side for third? Yes, he is. Has a good chance with it. I think Brady's tires are starting to fade pretty good.
Yeah, right now he and Novak getting swarmed. Briggs second in line on the freshies, up to second. Maconi third on the freshies, up to third. Everybody who's taken at least partial sets is moving ahead here for the most part. And this is going to be important if we were to get an air caution right now for these drivers, as this opens up the door for strategy.
Absolutely. I was just about to go there next. Novak and Brady do not want this race to go green to checkered here with 42 to go. They want the fresh tires. I think they may want the best time to get a yellow would probably be right now, so they just have a couple of laps of an advantage. They don't want it to go like a long run or a medium run in, because that's when we could see some drivers pit again for rear tires or front tires. We'll have to see.
Do have some people cutting up the road, if you notice there. Jeff Maconi Smunsto's alongside right now. Jeremy Briggs, that's for second. And they're poking inside.
Absolutely. See what that 03 can do. Jeff Maconi, remember, had that black flag early. He's made a nice comeback, especially after pitting. He just edged out one of his employees at the line for P2. Of course, Briggs, our color commentator for GLR on Wednesday nights. Having a good run right now at the moment.
And now it's starting to lose a little bit of time on raw pace. Last time by for Briggs, 16.6. Leaders running 16.4s. As up in the order goes Foster and Jones, now looking to make some moves here. Jones already making the pass. Foster looking to get the recovery drive going.
Yeah, remember when last time these 3 drivers were near each other, that was when they were 3 wide, and Mason Foster went very hard into the outside wall in turn number 3. Let's see what happens this time. I think everyone's going to keep it clean. Foster bobbled, and he's sideways with a great save.
Big save once again. Foster having the weeble wobbles and the incidents build up for him. Bounces off the wall for good measure. That opens the door for the 112, Matt Mingo. Haven't talked too much about Mingo throughout this race, but he's looking to go up +6 if he can get this move going.
Yeah, Mingo trying to make some moves. Been very quiet in this race so far. Now makes his way past Foster. I wonder if there was a lot of tire degradation done off of Foster with him getting loosey-goosey. Meanwhile, up near the front, Briggs trying to catch back to Jones for the bottom step of the podium. Nothing going there, but that 96 trying to get side by side in the second groove where he's been pretty good at tonight.
Indeed. Looking at some of these drivers settle on in here. And that's going to be the main thing here. Long run's going to be critical already. 0.2 of a second fall off to 0.3 for much of this field. A lot of these drivers starting to really cook these tires as the laps turn away.
Yeah, now once again we're on pretty much another log run here where the tires can get used up. Like we saw when the drivers were on just about even pace when it came to tires. Novak was the best car on the log run. I'm interested to see if Jeff Maconi can come back from down 1.5 seconds. Last time by, Johnson was better by 0.4 or so, or excuse me, 0.04 or so. This time by with 30 laps to go. Johnson much better by 0.3 of a second, so Maconi had issues that last lap.
Yeah, not the greatest of lap last time by, but still has the buffer over these two. Briggs trying to close back up to Mason Jones. And the interesting is Mason's doing the diamond line off the corners, it looks like. Briggs continuing to go more flatter on the entry. At least that's the lineup in 1 and 2 with the way they're driving.
I don't know if Briggs likes his car for right now at the moment, but he just saw a close call with the 62, nearly scraping the wall off for turn 4. Briggs trying to close in, maybe use that to his advantage. Try and get the 62 car a little bit nervous at the rear view mirror.
Trying to keep the pressure on maybe. But right now Briggs still has not been able to poke his way back alongside for a podium spot for the time being. By the way, things have separated out with Foster over Mingo. Mingo has fallen off now as he dropped back last time by a little bit. He was near even last time by, but lost 1/10 the next time around. So he is struggling a little bit.
Yeah, he's struggling a little bit. Looks like Foster got a little sideways as well off of turn 4 last time by. A little bit better that time off the corner exit. But right now it's really been the top 6 drivers that really have the fastest cars on track at the moment. Now get a yellow flag with 25 laps to go. Could that lead to tire changes? We'll just have to see. Meanwhile, Johnson still leading. Gap is up to 2.3 seconds, and he's approaching some lap traffic too.
Sorry, lapped a couple cars. In fact, he's lapped Howie Burrows. He's lapped Pipolini so far. Now looking to lap Zach Call once again. Call giving him plenty of space. Great pace so far for him in this race with the fresher tires. Once he got the track position, just ran away. You can say with 22 laps to go. Hoping it stays green.
Ooh, for his the wall. Couldn't tell who that was. I was thinking it was one of the lap cars in Howie Burrows. Thought for a moment he was going to go around there off the corner. Meanwhile, Jones racing Maconi, racing Briggs. 3 cars under a blanket for P2. Briggs, after Maconi went way up the hill, up to 3rd.
Looks like Maconi's tires starting to go off a little bit. Maconi's had several pit stops. Last time took 2 tires on the tire sets. And now they have a swarm of lap traffic on the racing line, checking things up here. Mason Jones goes high side. He goes middle, in fact. Jeremy Briggs goes around. Zach Hall gets spooked up the racetrack as the leaders get on through.
Yeah, the drivers are thinking, please, lap cars, still not get into us with 20 laps to go. We are racing each other, still having some good battles. Jeff Maconi still trying to close in, hoping lap traffic would be used to his advantage. It wasn't, unfortunately. Briggs still trying to catch Jones for P2.
Braden Lassner is out of the race due to technical issues. So that will see the 14 fall down the pylon. Still less than 20 laps to go. Spots on the line here. By the way, that lap traffic allowed Jones and Briggs to close up a fair bit. Last time by, they were actually a tenth quicker than the leader on top of it.
Yeah, we'll just have to see what goes down. Jones has cut the lead down to 1.3 seconds. See if he cuts it down even more. But with this battle for second, they may lose momentum. I don't know if Briggs wants to go side by side with the 62 or follow him to see if they can each catch up to Kyle Johnson. We'll just have to see how the cards unfold with 16 to go.
Yeah, really wanting the second spot with how things are going. Briggs, good corner exit, no place to take the run once again. They stay boxed in. Here's the interesting note. Novak, Pace, and Brady, the way things are going, are 9 seconds back on the older tires. The call to stay out has not worked out at all for our 3 fastest front runners earlier on.
Yeah, they gambled and right now pretty much are about to lose this one. It's like having a high card in poker where everyone else just had on the river card the full house here. Let's see if Briggs can get that run on the 62 for second. Didn't work, but yeah, Novak, remember, he had the fastest lap earlier. He's going to need a caution flag if he wants a chance to get back in this race. Briggs, though, side by side.
Looking for second. Once again, better power down for Mason Jones. Clears himself. That was close.
Yeah, they nearly made bumper-to-bumper contact there, Justin. Could have sent the 62 sideways and probably would have collected the 48 as collateral damage. But 11 laps remaining. Johnson just wants to have these two keep battling for position because the lead's gone up to 2.1.
Yeah, they're spending more time focusing on the battle than they are trying to close up for the lead. Maconi's still in the popcorn seat to this as well, despite his struggles as of late. Almost a full second of fall off. Briggs, all over the back end, goes for the dive. Looks alongside again. Goes up the track into the side of the 62.
Yeah, they rubbed Nerf bars there for a moment off at turn number 2. This could allow Jeff Maconi to close in. Jones trying to counter it back here. 9 laps to go, but Briggs shuts the door.
Slamming the door shut once again. It's coming to 8 laps to go in this race. This is our closest battle on the racetrack with how things look to close out the night for these legend cars. Right now, Jones looking to try and use that same mark that worked from earlier. Briggs is starting to run away.
Yeah, the drivers from 2nd through 4th all going to need a caution if they want to get back in this one. Kyle Johnson, though, commanding the troops with a great lead at 2.5 seconds. 62 car you just saw there for a moment. Mason Johnson nearly cracked the wall off turn 4. Allowed Maconi to try and go for a podium spot.
He's an error, one of those mistakes to open the door truly, though. Hear a lot of throttle modulation off these corner exits now as these tires start to cook. Maconi looks for a way to cook for a spot.
Yeah, it could be a sideways run to the checkered flag here. 5 fingers in the air with 5 to go for Johnson. Maconi hoping that Jones and Briggs have issues here in the final few laps where they really push up the 12 degrees of banking.
Right now looking for something to happen to get him on the podium. Right now Jones struggling corner exit. Briggs not closing up on the leader. Right now things look very comfortable for Johnson if it stays green here. This has been our longest green flag of the race. More than half the race has now gone green in a row. Coming up 3 laps to go.
Yeah, all things looking pretty good here from Kyle Johnson. As you see the stints, look at that top 6, the fresher tires benefited them perfectly in this race.
And anyone who didn't pit, they're half a track back before the equalization point. Down to the final lap or so to go coming up to the white flag as Kyle Johnson outright dominant pace for the 88 car once he took the tires and took the race lead away. Now on the final time around, just needs to cruise it on home. One more set of corners for our first leg of the night. New content clash. Race 1 will go to car 88. Kyle Johnson wins at Sobo.
Fireworks go up as Briggs finishes second, Mason Jones third, Jeff Maconi fourth, Mason Foster rounding out the top five, but it's Kyle Johnson taking night one, or race one, I should say.
Good race from Kyle Johnson. Can celebrate over Jeremy Briggs and Mason C. Jones on the podium, as he'll burn it on down with the celebration. Take a step aside. We come back post-race coverage before we transition over to race 2. You're watching coverage of the new content clash on Maconi Entertainment.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back, everyone, to Maconi Entertainment for more coverage of the new content clash as we get set for the second portion of the night. But let's look at the results first from our first portion of racing here at Sobo. 100 laps of racing, seeing Kyle Johnson take the checker flag over Jeremy Briggs. Mason C. Jones rounds out the top 3. Jeff Maconi and Mason Foster in the top 5, with Matt Mingo, Zach Novak, Lori Pace, Bo Brady, and Brendan Argenio in the top 10 of note. The drivers in 7th through 10th on old rubber. The rest of your finishers included Burrows, along with Bellini, Call, Laster, and Noah Larson did not start. Look top to bottom at the running order. We do have your race winner standing alongside. It is Kyle Johnson who gets the race win. Kyle, the new tires seem to make you feel like Superman. How would you describe that tire strategy that's seen you get to the front?
Yeah, man, my buddy Mason there, he took tires like 20 laps into the race. And I knew if you were top 5, you'd be able to get 4. So I think I messed up qualifying quite bad. I was like 2.5 tenths quicker than what I did, but I came through pretty quick to 3rd. So I knew I was in a good position to at like around lap 40 to come in and get freshies and not go a lap down. So I guess a lot of people weren't aware of that, and I benefited from that.
Overall, how would you describe your experiences with this car? Because, of course, this is going to be one of the cars going to get an update tomorrow, and the rookie version of this car gets retired.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, to be honest. Pretty good racing out there. I'm glad we got a long green flag stretch at the end. Those are always good. A lot of cautions early, but you got to expect that. And it was interesting to have a race where you saw strategy come into play. Usually I'm on the reverse end of that, but you know, I was running 3rd before the strategy all went through, so I felt like regardless I had a good chance, and it was good to get the win.
So what's your overall opinion on the ARCA Menards car here for tonight for the second leg at Charlotte?
I haven't gotten a ton of laps here. I'm going to be running this one too. I think this is going to be fun as well. I actually prefer this style of car a little better than the Legends, so it'll be interesting. But like I said, lack of laps might hurt me in the beginning, but I think I'll come around too. Hopefully, keep it in one piece and be close at the end.
Any shout-outs you'd like to give here tonight?
Yeah, obviously, Jeff. Appreciate you guys putting on the show. My buddy Bo and Mason, and yeah, it's everybody.
Congratulations once again on the win here in the first part of the night.
Thank you.
Kyle Johnson gets the job done. Got the strategy just right. Second place, also getting the strategy just right, Jeremy Briggs. He's with Marty.
Hey, partner, long time no see. Great run for you tonight, and really the name of the game was taking tires in the second half and taking advantage of the top three's mishaps. Just what worked out for you really as a whole late in that run besides that?
Man, how's it going, everybody? Marty, like you said, really good to see you just a couple days ago. Boy, I hope you guys had a great broadcast up there because that was amazing racing there with Mason. I got to thank Mason real quick. That was just good, clean, fun racing. And man, my arms are tired. Like you said, I decided, no, I'm going to take a left right here, take tires. I couldn't believe people stayed out. And man, I just found myself right there at the right place. And the beginning of that run was kind of tough. I'm not really good on the short runs, so those guys kind of got underneath me. And I'm like, you know what? If this goes green at the end, it might have been a good spot. And wow, talk about second place. Here we are.
You and the Masons, Mason Jones, Mason Foster, each with some wild racing. I know the first time you guys were 3 wide ended not the way you wanted to see it with the wreck, obviously, but the second time all three of you were close together. You guys really put on quite a show.
Yeah, that first incident, I'm still not really sure what happened there. It just felt like it was really close race, and it was. I was like, man, we're gonna go 3 wide. Here we go, and just kept sending it. And man, this track car combo was great. Got to thank Jeff Maconi, everybody at Maconi Setup Shop for putting this on. Who
else do you want to give shout outs to?
Absolutely. Definitely got to thank the broadcast booth, everybody at Maconi Entertainment for putting this on as well. Eric Thomas, he was I guess you could say, spotter in my ear. He does a really good job keeping me calm. I'm a very antsy person, so he keeps me in check. And like you said, with that first little incident, kept me in check. Got to thank Pissed Out Popcorn for always giving me that delicious popcorn, and everybody that supports the stream. Hope everybody that's on Jeremy Briggs Sports is enjoying it as well on Maconi Entertainment.
All right, Jeremy, we'll let you go. Great run tonight, and hopefully we'll talk to you again at Charlotte.
Jeremy Briggs coming away in the second spot tonight, as we still have a few more minutes before these drivers get ready to go. Don't have Mason Jones alongside, but we do have one more driver that is standing by me, as we'll take the time to speak with him. Zach Call. Zach, how would you describe that race?
It started out a little rough. I think I just wasn't able to get the feel of the car. As the race went on, I got more comfortable with it and had less issues. Definitely did better as the race went on. Car was really fast. I just didn't execute on my part. Probably a little bit of inexperience. But going on to the ARCA race, I'm optimistic that we'll do a little better.
How would you describe your experience with the ARCA Menards cars?
I would say probably pretty good. I usually don't tend to, spin out as much. Pretty comfortable with the ARCA cars, so I'm looking forward to this race of Charlotte.
Anyone who want to give a shout out to?
Let's give a shout out to Spoiler Diecast and Drive for Humanity for sponsoring me. You can use code ZNC at Spoiler Diecast for 5% off any orders $20 or more and get free shipping.
Congratulations on the run tonight.
Thank you.
Zach Call currently in the midst of preparing for the next race. So, speaking of which, we head to Charlotte up next. Marty, your thoughts going into the ARCA Menard Series race now as we get ready to go for 60 laps.
That's the one I'm looking forward to the most. That one is going to be a lot of fun. I mean, this is a track and a car combo everyone's familiar with, especially if you run Class D, public iRacing, official races. So, may see some slipping and sliding in the bankings there, but other than that, will be also a race of car control. Can't wait to see how that goes.
Drivers will have a few moments before they head to Charlotte. We'll take a quick step aside. More coverage coming up. You're watching Maconi Entertainment.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
everybody, and welcome back to tonight's coverage of Night 1 of the New Content Clash. Once again, we're excited to bring you action, this time with the ARCA cars at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the first of 2 great nights of racing. Once again, Maconi Entertainment is here to bring you action from all types of racing with the Goat Locker Racing Series, the Full Length Cup Challenge, and Fast Fridays. No matter what you're racing, we can bring the action to life. Once again, my name is Justin Prince. Alongside the booth tonight, Marty Sakawa. DJ Line is working the controls as a producer, using cameras provided by Whiplash SimCams. It's our second portion of the night now on the docket. It is Charlotte, and it's the ARCA cars, Marty. And that means we're going to go fast for 60 laps.
Yes, it is. This is the car that has the physics a little bit similar to maybe the Grand National Series cars. You gotta be careful with the tires throughout the 60 laps of action we have here this evening. You gotta be patient with the throttle when you're going out of the corners, because these cars slide really easily on corner exit. You can make contact, not like with the Legends cars. You can make a little contact, but you just can't make too much.
And keep in mind, these drivers are still battling for points per night to be able to get in the prize pool. Remember, $690 total, part of the prize pool, plus a custom trophy for that winner throughout these nights here. So a good chance to make a profit if you're thinking about the money side of things. These drivers as well, currently in the midst of getting qualified. They have 5 minutes left to go in the session. As we continue to look around at Charlotte Motor Speedway, most drivers have already finished up their laps. So let's take a look at the track itself. How would you describe Charlotte and how these drivers will be racing tonight?
Yeah, obviously it's a 1.5 mile quad oval, and it's got some banking to it. This is a place that's very unique on corner exits, especially off of turn 4. Gotta be aware of all your surroundings, because that, especially the doglegs too, can sometimes bite you out of nowhere. So, but just such a beautiful racetrack, the track that mostly everyone starts on iRacing. 24 degrees in the bankings. We're looking forward to a classic one.
It'll be a fun night for these drivers in this car. We go racing in a few minutes time here. These drivers do have session 2 tick down, plus 5 minutes of warm up to make sure they are all set and ready to go in their cars. So currently Mason Foster, the only driver on track, currently able to set more qualifying laps at the moment. We do have Brayton Lester standing on by. Had some tech issues in the Legends race, but he is an expert when it comes to this style of racing. Brayton, what do you expect for these ARCA cars tonight?
I don't know if expert's the right word. I don't know if you can even call me professional, but I do have quite a bit of experience in the real world version of the new ARCA car, this older style. Obviously a little bit different, and struggling a little bit that first race. That's in general, and then had the hardware issue. That's has back big time going to Charlotte, and the ARCA car, always a fun combination. It's not for me, it seems.
How would you describe the feel of this older style chassis for this car tonight compared to what drivers should expect to see tomorrow?
It's very much on the edge, not right on the edge. Gen 4, it's very reactive, it's very snappy. You on the throttle open or react right away. I was actually just watching Justin Yee while we were waiting here for qualifying to roll over. He was doing the alpha test, the pre-release test, I guess, that you can do on iRacing with the new ARCA car. And he was kind of talking about how it's very more forgiving when you have a sudden snap, you're trying to work with the traffic, or you get real tight in the corner and kind of let off a little bit, the car will react a little bit better, which I think that's a great job of how it reflects in real life too. So I'm excited for the new car to come out tomorrow.
I'm excited too, and I believe Marty might have a question for you.
Yeah, Brian, with the new car coming out tomorrow, how much can that help like ARCA drivers like you maybe now be able to practice before you guys go to these tracks, now that you have the same design that you guys are racing now and not like you're running the Gen 4s now these days?
I would definitely have to really turn some laps and see. I use iRacing as a huge tool to train and to practice. You know, iRacing tool relied on by countless professionals, and I'm one of those professionals that I do rely on iRacing quite a bit. Currently, we're using the Gen, or not the Gen 4, the Xfinity car for a lot of practice, and there's a lot of even smaller teams that don't have access to the simulator stuff as far as setups goes, and they'll sit here and they'll use iRacing to practice setups, not just their drivers, but the teams themselves will be using that. I know a lot of them are really, really excited about it to kind of have something close to what the big teams have. Yeah, it's nowhere near the multi-million-dollar setups that Chevrolet or Ford and Toyota have, but it gets them just a little bit closer to kind of being more prepared week in and week out. So I think that can be a really cool thing, and I'm excited to have something that I'm like, hey, this is the car I drive. I don't know how close it's going to be, but a warm-up is getting skipped here, which, heartbroken there. So we will go into this race here, just hoping our internet does not have an issue.
Hopefully things hold out when it comes to the connection side of things. Once you get to the preparations, thanks for the time, Brayton.
Thank you, guys. Good luck.
That's Brayton Laster amongst the real-world competitors in the ARCA Menard Series in 2025, being full-time for his schedule. So we are going a bit quicker on the schedule here, Marty. Quickly, your keys to your expectations for this race now for 60 laps.
I think my expectations for this race is with the ARCA cars at Charlotte, it's really you want to be sure you're hugging that low line. The high side can work at sometimes, but obviously going to be very tough unless you're on corner exit. Then you may have some sort of momentum, and you just got to hang on to this race car. Make sure you don't slide the rear end, or else you could be going for a ride. We got the starting lineup here, Justin.
Take a look at your starters on screen. Zach Novak, Kyle Johnson, row 2, Larry Pace, Alex Chilcutt, row 1. Then behind them, Matt Mingo and Jeremy Briggs will be in the top 6. Mason Jones and Bo Brady in the top 8. Then Mason Foster and Jeff Maconi, your top 10.
The Pizza Man, Brayton Laster, inside of row 6, next to Pete Polini in the 51. Row number 7, Brandon Argenio in the 88, next to Howie Burrows in the 27. And Zach Call rounding out the field in car number 65. A little bit of a Wood Brothers throwback.
So top to bottom of the running order here tonight. 15 cars once again on the entry list. We did gain a driver, actually. Chilcutt did not take part in the first portion of the night. Remember, if you want to take part in night 2, be sure to sign up at MaconiSetupShop.com/event-signups. Pete in day number 2 of the racing action. So drivers are now getting the chance to go to the grid in full for itself to go racing. Once again, your distance 60 laps tonight for these drivers. Limited tire sets are going to be available tonight. One faster pair if necessary. And oh, by the way, it is a clean and green racetrack. No rubber buildup in the session. It is a 0% clean to start this session. So, who are you watching on for the most now in this race?
Yeah, that's a good question to keep. I would have to say Zach Novak once again. Hopefully, if these guys have to take tires, obviously he's one of the best at on ovals with the Z NASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series experience, so he knows intermediates quite well. I got my eyes set on him. Looking at who else we got in the field, maybe Bo Brady, we'll just have to see, but Zach Novak is the guy I got my eyes on closely.
Yeah, that's kind of the pick to keep an eye on for a race like this. Larry Page should be a good racer, too. After all, he does have the Farmer logo out to kind of indicate he likes to race these cars, and some people may think of that direction. But he's the pole sitter for a reason. Getting all geared up and ready to go here. Alex Chilcutt, Chilsey, as he calls himself. Going to be interested to see how he does after we didn't see him in a Legends car earlier.
Yeah, I wonder if Chilcutt put a lot of focus on this race specifically. If he's trying to get a lot more experience, trying to put some more practice laps in to this race compared to maybe splitting half and half.
Yeah, curious about how this is going to go for him. So we'll have to keep an eye on how this goes. It's one of those drivers that raced in special events, including things like Groovy Hollow. It's once those who start on a console, looking to make a name for himself on the platform. But now we get all geared up and ready to go. It is our second race of the night for the new content clash, presented by Maconi Setup Shop, the official setup shop of eNASCAR. It's going to be Larry Pace in control for this field. Alex Chilcott start on the outside. Happy with us once again here on Maconi Entertainment. Pace car is off. They wait for the green. Larry Pace sets them up for the start box. Green flag is out. We're underway from Charlotte. Down the back straightaway for the first time. The top 5 or so already single filing out. While drivers like Brady try and battle to the inside, blocking off Maconi. Oh, some wiggles in front of them too. Some people trying to use the third line like Briggs.
Yeah, drivers slicing and dicing all around this racetrack. And again, I brought that up. Some drivers may use the high side on the exits of these corners because of the banking here. Normally provides them with a slight advantage. That's why we saw before the Cup cars in real life went to that high downforce package in Gen 6. That's why everyone wanted to be on the high side there. That was the preferred line to be.
Chilcott just took away the race lead, by the way, from the high side. Novak just took away second from the low side. Couple drivers already making some swaps here. 30-second lap times to start the runs to be expected. If it goes green, about 30 minutes of action if you do it that way. But Chilcott, is he burning up his stuff? He is trying to run away.
I think that could possibly be the case, but, you know, we'll just have to see. If he dominates this race, even on a long run like these, I'd be very impressed. But, hey, Chilcott, I got some news for you. Guess who's behind you? Zach Novak already up front to P2.
Last time by, 29.9 from Alex Chilcott. Pace already dropping to the third spot. And some of these drivers are going to have a lot of experience in the car, whether it's with the ARCA Menards package or the Gen 4 variety of this car. Larry Pace, for example, one of those who's competed in wind-style competition with both styles of racing. Maconi with the wiggle.
We got a yellow, though.
And it's a yellow for Mason C. Jones. Mason C. Jones spinning it out with a lot of contact up in the air.
Boy, let me tell you something. That yellow may have been a gift for Maconi because I think that car was about to snap underneath them on corner exit. We'll just have to see, though, what happened to Mason. Racing with Argenio and the 13 car. Oh, there was some net code easily. The 13 has been blinking in and out all day long, and there even more net code there up in the air off the 27 of Burrows. But going back to my point, the 13 was, or if not the 12, I don't know, I can't remember what number it was blinking all throughout the early portions of that race. So that's clearly a net code situation.
Tough break there. It puts us on a caution for the first time, already 5 laps in. And, oh, look at this. Chilcott just got faked out. Everybody else taking freshies.
Drivers wasting no time here. They know that 6 is going to be very tough to beat.
Yeah, this is going to be a big difference on the fire-off possibly for the restart, if not a few laps into the run. As these drivers already get themselves a set of tires changed here. So, there are 4 drivers out of the racetrack who are not in pit road right now. Chilcott, along with Mingo, Polini, and Call, stayed out. They're going to be on the older rubber as Novak first out of the pit road over Pace, Johnson, Brady, Briggs, and Maconi. Take a quick break. You're watching Maconi Entertainment from Charlotte.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Charlotte for more coverage of the new content clash presented by Maconi Setup Shop. Getting all set to go is Chill Cut, Mingo, along with Polini and Call, all taking a risk and staying out for the restart. In the words of Mingo, this is going to be either a really bad idea or a really good idea.
I will just have to see what goes down on this restart. But Chocut, pretty much, what are we going to call this? He could be a sitting duck on this restart. We'll just have to see. All depends on how he fires off on this restart.
Get very interesting off this restart here. 53 laps to go in the race. So get geared up for the restart. See how they handle the restart zone here. Chilsey in control. Green, green, green. Back on our way. Very careful off the gas as Mingo Polini already 3 wide as Larry Pace goes inside.
Front 2 rows, we're trying to avoid spinning the tires, and look at this. 2 for 1, Larry Pace up the hill, the 51 of Polini. He's in the suckle in the middle hole while drivers are going 3 wide around him. Hang on, boys, this could be tight.
Already 4 wide for a split second. Drivers like Pace. Oh, some contact. Few drivers came up. Couple people pushing up. Briggs in the wall. Bounces off the 88. They slide into the grass. Genio slides off the carbine. Pushes up the track and avoids more contact.
That's some dirt tracking right there if you're Argenio. What a save by the 88. How did they not wreck is what I'm wondering.
Unreal is what you can say when it comes to that moment. Unreal. But still, 3 wide, continuing on. This is the replay.
Even saw the 65 in the background, too, of Call trying to get through the grass there. But, man, oh, man, how he didn't come up into Maconi and another car behind him, the 27 of Burrows, I don't even know.
Looking back live as that's really spread things out, the 88 now dealing with some damage on their car as Burrows stuffs it in the fence.
Yeah, this is kind of easy to get up in the wall with these ARCA cars, and obviously every car with the new damage model these days, but ARCA was the first one to have it, so it's really advanced. You know, one slip, one piece of contact up in the wall, you are in big trouble.
By the way, Zach Novak currently running in the 5th position. Did not get the best of restarts with all things considered. Kyle Johnson and Larry Pace quickly made moves to pass on by him.
And Pace trying to get a run on Mingle as well for that 2nd spot. There he goes, the pole sitter, peeking downstairs for P2. See if he get it, but Mingo slosh sideways. He saw the rear end start to shake underneath him. I think there's a bump as well up top in turn 2, and Mingo clips the wall.
Yeah, right now Mingo just trying to hold on to this point for a 2nd spot. Oh, and he nearly pushed up again. Good awareness by Pace.
Staying side by side. This just shows you how good as a whole, how good the Gen 4 ran at Charlotte, regardless of what engine or what package type it is. Mingo's still dirt tracking it off in turn 2. Look how sideways he is. Allows Pace to get up to the spot.
Slips right on by. And Mingo's idea is definitely going the wrong way. Most of the drivers, except for Chilcutt, have lost a lot of ground in this situation. So, Novak makes the pass. Into the wall goes Mingo. Yeah, the old tires are not it.
He may lose this race car possibly, but yeah, he was one of the few drivers that stayed out underneath that last year. In fact, one of 4 drivers to stay out, but he's in big trouble. That car may be toast in about 5-10 laps from now. We'll have to see.
Yeah, all right, Bo Brady trying to duck to the inside of the Dark Horse entry. And yet again in the wall. Yeah, you're right. Right now just struggling to keep the car turned, struggling to keep the throttle in it. Battle is on for the race lead because Larry Pace has reeled in the 6.
And he's got the fresher tires too. Let's keep that in mind. It's within 2 car lengths. Look at him holding the bottom. Just so much better at holding in 3 and 4. He's up on the spoiler of the 6. And Chilcutt's opened up the door. I think Pace, did he get him at the line? I don't know.
No, he did not. But now he'll definitely get him into 1 and 2. Larry Pace up front to the point.
He nearly got sideways to a shallow exit off the corner. Chilcutt with the advantage of the backstraight. He clipped the wall too. You saw the sparks fly off the safer barrier. Chilcutt trying to get back on the throttle though first off the corner. Wants the banking 2 off turn for his momentum. Now he'll get a push possibly from Novak, who's in the 2.
Yeah, Novak is there, right in the conversation, watching these 2 fight a little bit. Chilsea now falls back single file. Larry Pace able to clear on by. Larry Pace, the Canadian, now up in the race lead. Now how does Novak play this? It's going to be the huge question. Novak last time by was 2/10 quicker. He zips to the inside.
Just had the gap there, and he actually did a pass in the grass. This just shows you, Justin, how good Charlotte Motor Speedway is just for racing as a whole. We saw it last season with the GLR Cruising Classics Next Gen Series. It's just phenomenal racing at Charlotte, regardless of what car it is.
Absolutely, this track puts on a lot of entertaining racing. And right now, Novak is sticking to the mantra of stay on the blue line when it comes to single file racing. That is the faster way around when it comes to this track. Right now, if you look, Pace is not getting to it like Novak is.
Yeah, Novak was better by about 0.04 of a second last time by. Right now, he's off about 0.6 of a second. Actually, second on fall-off averages for Pace, about 0.7. We'll just have to see there as we're nearly a third of the way through. Novak trying to get that nice draft off of Pace. Pretty easy to slipstream here at Charlotte. You can see it as well when we run the Pickup Cup series there.
Indeed, coming to 40 laps to go. By the way, Chilcutt already falling back by a second. He's got Kyle Johnson to his inside as Johnson looks to pressurize the 6. The 6 up the wall. The 9 crawls underneath.
Yeah, Johnson trying to get a chance to get the broomstick out and sweep the night here. Didn't get third at the stripe on Chilcutt there just yet, but Johnson very good on corner entry. Look how hard he can send this on scuffs.
Yeah, right now, oh my, Johnson getting a push up the track. Chilcutt both times really has been pushed up the racetrack with some of those moves out of turn 3. And he's already dropped down to the 4th position. Those who stayed out are in 4th, 8th, and 14th, respectively, as we look at the leaders.
I think this is going to be an opportunity for Novak to take the lead on Larry Pace. If Novak doesn't want to use up his tires here directly, maybe he could explore some options here, see what grooves could work best for him. But maybe right now the best option for him is to follow the 50 and try and force him into making a mistake.
Yeah, just trying to pressurize him. That's the key thing. And we already know the mantra when it comes to Novak in these types of races. We've seen this with the Maconi Fixed Series was just trying to get the best speed for the long run. Try to set things up for the long run pace.
Yeah, remember that's what he was trying to do with the Legend car as well. Unfortunately, not taking tires was the reason why he fell all the way back. And it's a drag race to the line. We're door to door.
Side by side for the race lead. Novak tries to wrap the bottom still. Up top side, Larry Pace. Good speed off turn 2. Pace trying to fend him off. Able to keep it up top, but Novak able to keep to the numbers.
Yeah, Novak better on the entry of the corner. Pace good on corner exit, but look at that. Novak edging by a hair, and he got him at the line, I think. I don't know.
That time by, it was still Larry Pace. Still coming up to 35 laps to go, and they're racing like there's 5 laps to go. This battle going pretty intense. They are even foot.
This is just peak Charlotte right here. It gives you similarities of what happened in the 600 in 2005 between Jimmy and Bobby, but they come off the corner once more. 35 to go. Novak still trying to get another chance to reel him in. Now let's see here. I know they've pulled away from Kyle Johnson a lot while battling for the lead. Maybe this could help Johnson possibly pull him. We'll just have to see.
Just have to keep an eye on things as we take a look at the battle behind. Johnson, Chilcutt, and Brady have all grouped up together. Chilcutt's equalized out. The problem is they are 3/10 off the pace of the leaders.
Yeah, Chilcutt trying to hang on to that race car. Doing a good job on the long run compared to other drivers that are on scuffs. He'll definitely need a yellow for sure if he wants to get back in this race, but still with good track position in 4th. Next guy that's trying to catch him, though, Bo Brady in 5th.
Looking back at the leaders, they'll reach lap traffic pretty soon. Zach Hall is just up the road. Novak not able to get back alongside quite yet. Larry Pace, some great defense so far.
Yeah, Pace very impressive in that clean air right now. We're about to see some more lap traffic that the leaders are coming up to, Justin.
Yeah, that is Call that I referred to, as he's all over the racetrack. Call, try to stick to the bottom right now. Now we'll go up the racetrack this time as the leaders try and predict where they'll be. Pace gonna exit. Wow. Looks like not gonna hold him up much.
Yeah, that was very close because on the exit of the corner, Pace right there and right behind the 65 of Call, where it could have led to some front-end damage possibly, but now the top 2 have no issue. Clean track ahead for right now, as Novak still trying to explore his options or just stay patient, follow the 50.
Try to stay in line and plot and plan. Coming up to halfway in a couple laps time. They've already pulled near 3 seconds, by the way, over the rest of the field without things have shaken out. For those curious, Maconi is up 3, Braden Laster is up 3. Those are your biggest movers of the race. They're in 2 separate packs at the moment. The rest of the field currently has seen minimal movement. Brady's gone up 3 as well.
Yeah, some of those drivers have had some good pace, but just having a tough time closing in on the leaders, like Foster up 3, Maconi up 3, Laster up 2. Hopefully he's had the internet connection issues he's had throughout this second race fixed up, but they're all trying to close in on the leaders right now, but your top 2 are just simply the quickest drivers on track.
No other way to put it when it comes to their speed here. Novak trying to find a way to set things up on pace. And that's the thing. You don't want to destroy the tires by pushing hard and trying to make the pass, and that seems to be Novak's mantra.
Yeah, Novak trying to force the opponent into making a mistake possibly, or just looking for an opening off for turn number 2. Pace getting off the corner a little higher, kind of helping just a little bit. I don't know if that's going to help or hurt the 5.
Yeah, right now, Novak's starting to really back off, maybe cool down the tires a little bit. See if he's going to be able to keep and maintain. Lost a 10th last time by. Pace is still the fastest in terms of fastest laps, by the way. Only a couple drivers have turned laps in the 29.9s. Pace, the first of them, as he swoops down to try and break the toe a little bit. Of note, Jeremy Briggs just came down pit road. Interesting enough, Briggs has a lot of damage on his 48 car. We stay green. He had no issue, but it looks like he's pulling down.
Pace just ran the quickest lap of this race so far at a 29.914. So I don't know if breaking the draft directly worked or not. We'll just have to see. Obviously, when you're trying to break the draft, especially during this time, not really sometimes the thing you really want to do unless it's the final lap, because when you're steering the corner on the straights, you're scrubbing off speed, and that can allow the second place car to close in.
Also, I just had a crash in pit road. Braden Laster just crashed in pit road. Also, I had Howie Burrows stuff into the wall. As we take a look at the battle for third on screen. Right now, this grouping still includes Brady. Brady, he still preferred the bottom. Chilcutt's amongst those making the top line still work.
Oh,
he's in the wall.
just jinxed him. Yeah, and he may have an issue now with that number 6, where it could have led to some possibly fender damage and forced him up the hill. I wonder if I wouldn't expect Chilcutt to come down to pit road right now. Just letting the 14 go past and Bo Brady.
Had to at that point after that scrape to the wall. So 25 laps to work with here in this one.
But now it's very unique that Brady is using the high side all around throughout the corner. Maybe it's just trying to stay consistent on the throttle, not have to lift when driving into the corner, possibly. We'll have to see if that works, if he can try and close in on Kyle Johnson, because the two are just about 4/10 off of each other, but Johnson a 10th better last time by.
Looking back up front again. These two have now pulled 4 seconds on the rest of the field. Novak's closed up that 10th or so he lost before, so Novak's got the pace to close. Does he have the pace to get alongside again, though, is the problem.
I think he's just staying patient here, Justin. I wonder if he's going to wait until the right place at the right time. Maybe not too early, but not too late, just somewhere around the just right mark here. But yeah, he's doing a really good job at matching consistent pace with the leader. You can see he's pretty good. He's a little lower there in 1 and 2 compared to the 50 of pace, which helps a little bit, but it's just the drafting on the straight. I feel like the straightaways is where pace has the slight advantage.
Yeah, he's been aiming the line just well enough to be able to pull away a little bit down the straights, yes. Novak not getting too much effect for the draft, obviously, so far in this one. Still 22 laps to go. And this race continuing to fly on by. Shouldn't see some traffic for a while. It's a close battle on the racetrack. The air battles. Kyle Johnson, Bo Brady are still separated by half a second. Mason Foster has 4/10 over Jeff Maconi. Looking at the track temperature, still 77 degrees right now.
The fact that they're racing at 12:53 a.m. in iRacing time actually impresses me. I'm not gonna lie. That's a late night for those virtual drivers. But yeah, the speeds are up. In getting back to serious stuff, the speeds are up obviously with a cool track temp right now. That's normal for nighttime conditions here at any racetrack in general. But right now the fall off time still just about 0.6 of a second. Leaders not really losing too much time. They've been staying consistent while conserving at the same time.
Yeah, take a look at some of the air cars as we continue to run. This is Mason Foster we're talking about. Still in the 6th position. Very quietly keeping ahead of Maconi right now. The difference is about 4 or 5 tenths. See the onboard with Maconi as Maconi just drops the top side trying to gain some ground.
Maconi just trying to close in on Foster in the battle for 6th possibly. You see he's doing the inverted diamond, trying to exit off at turn number 4, enter in low, exit high.
Yeah, it's working out pretty well for him. He closed up a 10th last time by with that line in 1 and 2. It's going to take a lot of work to be able to get fully there, though, with the way things are shaking out. Looking up front again, these two have not left the bottom all race long for this run, unless they're side by side. So they continue to get all shaped up here in the midst of the corner.
Again, I think Novak is just trying to stay patient, hopefully maybe force the 50 to make a mistake and try and make a run at it for the race lead here. More lap traffic approaching. That's Mingo in the 12. Remember, he didn't pit underneath that our lone caution of the race.
Yeah, the drivers that didn't pit right now haven't seen 2 of those 3 fall laps down. How things have now gone. So, closing stages coming up to 16 laps to go. Still watching along with these two at this point. The rest of the field's going to need a caution flag if they want to join the conversation here. And that's easier said than done when it comes to Charlotte.
If a yellow flag comes out here inside the final 17 laps, everybody will be pitting. That is without question. They're all craving tires at the moment. I would be very shocked if somebody tries to stay out.
Do have one driver confirmed out of the race. Howie Burrows is now out after slamming the wall in the quad oval. And now that leaves us with Mingo 3 down. He's officially parked at call. 3 laps down is the last car running on your pylon. 15 to go. Wins go time for Novak at this point.
I feel like go time is going to be somewhere around, well, you see the 50 there, getting a little bit tight, but Novak following him. I think go time is going to be somewhere between maybe 5 to 7 to go here. But don't want to get too patient or else you may lose some time to the 50.
Indeed. So as we continue on, settling on things, still currently racing on Charlotte. It's worth noting that Novak is amongst those that is now planning different lines. We'll keep an eye on things here as Novak just attempted to run the top line. In radio mode for the next moment, side by side, Novak into 3, Larry Pace on the outside, inside line, currently running to the bottom is Novak, side by side, down the front straightaway as they go alongside. Novak went for the setup, now can he get the clinch?
Well, I guess I forgot to add the word doubled because we're 13 to go. Novak says it's time to go to work. We're door to door off the corner there. Novak trying to force pace maybe near the wall, trying to get that side draft too at the same time. That works pretty well with the Gen 4 cars too. You saw Novak though drive it in hard, pace on the throttle first. I think the 50 may come out with the edge with 12 laps to go.
50 still holding on with the runs down the straightaways as a result of the higher line. Novak trying to make things work in the corners. Trying to force a mistake from Larry Pace as Pace runs on top of the seam. Now works his way down the back. Again, Pace is quicker with that run down the banking.
Both these drivers driving it as hard as they can, making sure they don't give up a single dot here. Novak trying to force him in the wall nearly. And I think that gives the 2 car the lead here with 11 to go. We'll have to see. Wow.
Still 7/1000ths the difference at the line. 11 laps to go. Right now, Pace giving plenty of space. Novak giving plenty of space. No side draft attempts as Pace scrapes himself in the wall.
That could be speed there. You see some more marks. They're going to the corner, but Novak clips the apron for just a moment. He's trying to hang on to it. We got 2 hands in the air, meaning 10 laps remaining, Justin. Pace and Novak have been drag racing for the last 6 miles now.
Still looking for the edge. Novak gets a little bit quicker on the gas. Gets a better run, but again, Pace is still in position to keep it there. Can Pace keep this up is the question. Novak is starting to make some gains.
Zach Novak is super good on ovals. It's going to be very tough to try and hang on to Novak when you're side by side, and there's a lot of time left in the race. 9 laps to go. Pace is in. Pace is hanging on to the ropes. We'll say that the least.
Right now, Pace not backing down with less than 10 laps to go. Now he's got himself clear again. Novak going to have to reset, and is this going to be another shot for him? Is he going to have another shot, should say?
Well, it's going to be tough because I feel like Novak's, when he gets side by side, he falls behind just a little bit. I think it's tough for him to get that second chance, but now's not the time. He needs to get right back into focus and figure out how I get past Larry Pace, because we're in the witching hour right now, Justin. There's 7.5 laps remaining here at Charlotte.
Racing Novak had to take a run from the high side at one end to be able to set things up. He's trying it now. This time he does it in 3 and 4. Had to burp the throttle a fair bit.
Ooh.
Did not gain. Novak lost time by trying that.
Yeah, that last time by Pace better by 1.5 with 7 laps to go. I think this is the biggest gap that Pace has had in a long time here on Novak when you think of it.
And now he needs to close up and fast. No time to preserve tires, no time to cool them down. If you have any rubber left, you've got to use it now. Coming to 6 laps to go. Novak a little bit quicker in the corner this time.
Time by here. Novak cut down about nearly 1/10. Still with a chance. It's far from over here for Novak. I think he just has to keep following Larry Pace, and he's got it now. When we get to like maybe 2 laps to go or something like that, I think that's when Pace starts to break the draft.
Yeah, right now, Pace still going up the track. Mind you, the air battle's on track. Johnson and Chilcutt, the air close battle for the time being right now. They are almost 10 seconds back of the leader, but with 5 laps to go, Novak tries the top line, tries to run up towards the wall. This gained him a lot of time to build up a run before. Gains him a lot of time for the back straightaway, at least here.
Pace was better by 0.5 last time by. Right now, if you're Pace, you're not looking at the rearview mirror. You're just focused on hitting your marks and just looking in front of you, hoping you see that checkered flag. This is going to be the longest 4 laps of Larry Pace's life here.
He's going to have a lot of pressure here with Novak running up on the high side.
Remember, got that aero cushion there in the corners. Obviously, you don't have that in the low line. Is that aero cushion on the high line? Is that a benefactor here for the 5 car? Well, he closed in a lot there down the back chute. That works better in 1 and 2 than it does in 3 and 4. So if Novak does that, that may stun Pace possibly.
Wide open up the door for the inside yet again. 3 laps to go. Novak's doing it again. He's going to try it a couple more times if he wants a true shot. It's working.
Oh, look at this speed. He's going to get down the back chute. But just can't pull up, though, into turn number 3. And Pace there slams the door right in his face. If Novak does that perfectly 2 more times, it's going to come down to the wire.
He has to be a little bit closer if he wants to be able to get to the quarter panel. 2 laps to go. Top line again.
Oh, he got the wall, though. You see the sparks flying, but that may be off the right front. That may not be an issue, though.
Good run. Does he go for it? No. He goes for the high side, in fact. Pace blocks the bottom. Novak apologizes for contact as they come up to the white flag. Pace is in the wall. Novak checks up. A block by Pace as they take the white.
What a save. Pace is mirror driving for his life now, but he doesn't know how good Novak's been on the top here in these final few laps. Novak's going to get a run off for turn number 2, but you know Pace is going to try and break this drive without question, and now Novak goes underneath.
For the win, Novak tries to lunge. Pace tries to keep his foot in it for the high side. Pace loses ground. Novak's got it. Checker flag waves. It's Zach Novak who takes it on a last lap pass.
He did that picture perfectly there over Larry Pace. What a finish. What is it that you don't like about Charlotte?
How about that crossover? How about that run by Novak? Zach Novak getting the win, led just the one lap all race. How about that?
The most important lap of all the laps, Justin.
As Pace said, a very fun race from him. Top three, again, Novak, Pace, Brady. Brady showed speed at both types of tracks tonight. But it's time for a burnout. Zach Novak, the eNASCAR driver, gets the W here at Charlotte and doesn't even bring any smoke. That's going to bring us to a step aside. We come back, post-race results and interviews. You're watching Maconi Entertainment for coverage of the new content clash.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back to tonight's coverage of the new content clash as we've seen a thriller for the race win. Zach Novak and Larry Pace battled it out to decide the winner. It was Novak who took the victory over Larry Pace. Then third spot went to Bo Brady. We'll be talking about those drivers soon. Kyle Johnson in fourth with Alex Chilcup the top 5. Jeff Maconi in 6th, Mason Foster in front of Mason Jones. Then it was Brendan Argenio. Then Jeremy Briggs who finished lap down in 10th.
I love it. They got Brian Laster a lap down. Pete Polini 2 laps down in 12th. Zach Call 13th, 3 laps down. Matt Mango, Howie Burrows DNF'd from this one.
That's what we talked about with the running order here tonight in this one, as our drivers are standing on by to speak with us. Zach Novak coming away with the race win. Zach, just led the final lap, but you led at the right time. Talk us through that battle with Larry.
Yeah, obviously Larry's really good in these cars. I'm sure he's pretty disappointed to see him go, but yeah, just he's incredibly fast, and I knew if I wasn't in front of him to start the run, I just had to really be patient and wait my turn to see if he burnt off his tires a little bit. And I noticed he was kind of starting to fall back a little bit there with about 15 to go. And I was just trying to take advantage of it and obviously race him as clean as I could. We had a really good battle there, and thanks to him for racing me clean. I feel so bad for getting into him there into 3 coming to the white, but I had to try something different. I tried running the wall in 3 and 4. I don't know, with like 8 to go or something like that, and it did not work. So I tried to go in there in the middle and really drive it in deep, and I caught his right rear, and I think that's kind of, I don't know if that's what
ruined his car or what. He said he was struggling a little bit with the drive. So, yeah, just sorry to him again for getting into him. But thanks to him for racing me clean, and that was a good one.
Overall, how would you describe the feel of this car and your feelings about the new generation of the ARCA car getting to hit the service tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, this car is obviously pretty sentimental to myself and a lot of people on iRacing that have been on here for a long time. Obviously, it's one of the first full body stock cars that we got on iRacing a long time ago. So sad to see it go, but I'm really looking forward to the new ARCA car. It'll drive pretty similar to a lot of the cars we have nowadays in terms of the way the aero acts and whatnot. So I think it'll be a pretty good training tool for especially people that are up and coming. It'll really help learn stock cars and kind of what this new age of stock car racing is like. But yeah, regardless, I love this car and I'm glad it's sticking as a Gen 4 for another season. But sad to see it go for ARCA for sure.
Overall, what are your thoughts for tomorrow as you come away with the win, obviously, in the first leg? In the second leg, should say, the first leg still about midfield. How do you feel about tomorrow with the new content for the races then?
Yeah, I feel good. I felt great coming in tonight. I kind of figured that this one would be between Larry and I, so I just wanted to take advantage of that and get the best finish I could. The Legends race obviously was pretty disappointing with the tire strategy working out the way it did, but obviously I was happy with my pace in that as well, and I expect to be competing for a win tomorrow in both, so we'll see how it goes.
Any shout would you like to give here tonight?
Yeah, just of course thanks to Jeff for everything he does. Obviously, as I've said before, he's a massive supporter of mine, so I can't thank him enough for everything he does for me and our Channel 199 team in the NASCAR side. He'll be back on the car for Rockingham in a few races, so I'm really pumped for that. And yeah, just thanks to Jeff and everybody behind the scenes at his deal that puts all this together, and just glad to be a part of it.
Congrats the run here tonight.
Thank you, buddy.
Zach Novak coming away with the race win. Larry Pace came away in second spot tonight. He is with Marty.
Larry, a heck of a run, heck of an effort, man, tonight. What more did you need for Zach there in that final lap, and what happened from your perspective?
I needed about 5% more right rear tire. I had used it up lead, and I went for a little slide there, and it was like a light switch. The iRacing crew chief came over the radio and said, "You're almost out of rubber," and it was just garbage. I couldn't make a corner after that, so couldn't even hang on his outside, but it was very, very fun. Really hard race with Zach there, and anytime Zach is behind you, you know you're being stalked to like the last moment. He's just going to sit there and wait for you to make mistakes, so did my best to try to stay in front of him as long as I could. Had a really fun battle side by side with him. I held him really tight, and he did a great job staying under me. It was really tight in the center of the corners in 3 and 4, and he never even came close to sliding up into me. So just, yeah, it was a blast. I mean, first time coming out for the Maconi Fast Fridays. Wasn't really familiar with the format, but had a blast tonight.
As we start to say farewell to the Gen 4 ARCA body and transition to Gen 6 ARCA tomorrow, what have you enjoyed about this car?
Man, I could go on for hours about why this car is so good. You can really learn the fundamentals of how the sim works in this car with slip angle, how to manipulate which tire you're using at certain points in the corner. It's just a wonderful car. It's treated me very well over the years, and definitely sad to see it go.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Shout out to everybody at the ARCA farm. Maconi for putting this on. That's pretty much it. Everybody at the drill aisle. And that's about it.
Alrighty, we'll let you go, man. Great job tonight, and heck of a run all night.
Thanks very much. See you tomorrow.
Larry Pace coming away in second spot tonight in this one. Bo Brady came away in the third spot tonight. Bo, how would you describe the night so far? A top 3 in the ARCA car.
Yeah, I was happy to come away with a top 3 there after the first race, getting pole and messing up that tires kind of set me back, but I was happy to get away with a podium tonight, and everyone was racing, quite fast, and Larry Pace and Novak, were just cooking. So I had a kind of a rough qualifying and had to make my way up, but, a podium, I'm happy with that.
So overall, how would you describe that feel in the ARCA car tonight and how you battled this race car to the podium?
Oh, well, the ARCA car always gives you a lot of feeling. I mean, that's why a lot of the guys that are at the top of the sim race it, even though it's a D-class car. It's something that everyone still races no matter where they're at in their sim racing career. And it's a great car. I loved it all night, and, it's something that me and Kyle race quite often. And I know Larry Pace and Novak, they're always quick in this. And yeah, good. It's good, great car.
So with that being said, what are you looking forward to the most for build day tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow we're going to be in a little different setup, so it'll be interesting to see how everything plays out. And can't wait to see how the new car feels and try to win.
Any shout you could give here tonight?
Yeah, shout out to Motorsports Discord, Maconi Entertainment, you guys up in the booth, Kyle Johnson, and all the competitors, and Mason out there. Yeah, that's it.
Congratulations once again on the run.
Thank you.
Alrighty, rounding out our top 3 interviews here in this one tonight. Thanks to the whole top 3 for taking the time to speak with us during post-race coverage here on Maconi Entertainment. The point tallies just came through, and Kyle Johnson is your overall points leader, by the way. 73 total points to Zach Novak, 70. Then you have a tie for third with Larry Pace and Jeff Maconi with 64. Then Mason Jones, 63. Bo Brady, 62 with Jeremy Briggs. Your thoughts on the racing tonight as things look good on the points if you're Kyle or Zach or Larry or Jeff?
Yeah, just excellent night of racing here, Justin. The ARCA race was just phenomenal as a whole. Did not disappoint at the end. Give it up for the drivers with only one caution in that race. Legends was also a fun one, especially after the pit stop. Seems like a pit stop really changed the complexity of this race. So, but very excited to see what comes down with tomorrow. Justin, I believe you'll be on the call for that tomorrow alongside someone else. I hope you guys have fun with the brand new build while I'm still waiting just about maybe 2 weeks or so before I am back to a new computer and can run all this new stuff.
On that note, it's time to say goodbye for tonight's coverage. I'd like to thank the race sponsor, once again, Maconi Setup Shop, as well as the viewers for tuning in. Hope to see you at 7:30 p.m. for night 2. Calling the action tonight was myself, Joseph Prince, alongside Marty Sakawa. DJ Lion was producing. Thanks to all our viewers for watching tonight's action. Hope you stay tuned to our social media pages for our next race. Thanks to the entire staff for their work in bringing this racing to you. This has been a production of Maconi Entertainment. We'll see you next time.